Most visitors to Japan never leave the big cities. But when I come to Tokyo, I can't wait to get out. So I hop on an overnight ferry bound for the quiet island of Shikoku. I have some friends living there, soaking up life in the Japanese countryside. Urban Japan may be exciting, but this is where it's really at. The spiritual center of the nation, the farm country. There's plenty of nature and clean air, and a kind of stillness that's completely lost in places like Tokyo. When I first met Misa Ichikawa, we both lived in Sapporo, one of Japan's biggest cities. But her heart was back here in Shikoku, where she grew up.
Out there in the big city, all the pace is really fast, and I kind of found it really difficult to keep up with it. So this is really good, living really slow life, a quiet life here. I'm kind of country person, country mouse, so I think it suits me, suits my personality, and I think I like it a lot.
Misa's husband is taken to the slow life as well. He was born and raised in big cities, but now he's learning to become a rice farmer, which is not an easy second career.
People will tell you straight out that, nah, you're mad, you won't make money out of, or you can't make a living out of farming these days, stick to your English teaching, that's better.
Sean Burgoyne was born in Australia, and I knew him in Sapporo too when he was teaching English. He always hated it, but I was still surprised when I heard he had decided to pass up the easy money of English teaching for back-breaking farm work.
Milk and towing.
Sean and Misa live on an old farm with 10 chickens, 2 dogs, and a goat named Suzu-chan. It's a pretty unusual lifestyle choice in contemporary Japan. Fewer and fewer young people here are choosing to live in the country. The lure of the cities is just too strong, especially for the children of farm families. As a result, rural Japan is depopulated. The average age of a farmer in Japan is over 60. When Sean and Misa decided to move here, retired farmers welcomed them. They gave them an abandoned house and some fields to cultivate rent-free, just because they were willing to keep the land from being reclaimed by forest. Sean and I hiked up into the woods around his house, and he showed me the remains of what was once a thriving farm community.
Like, there's another house up here, another one up there. There would have been a small community. Probably everyone had the same surname, It was like one family, one clan. And there was no road, so, you have to grow everything yourself, and you have to make everything yourself. There's the old bath. Check that out. And a spot underneath to light the fire. The cast iron Goemon Budok.
When the government built the first road here in the 60s, they might have thought they were making life easier for the locals, but instead they merely gave them a route out.
But it looks like they've just up and left, everything's still here, the mattresses and... Oh no, this is way gone. Ours wasn't this bad at all.
Now Sean's hamlet, like small traditional farming villages across Japan, looks like a ghost town.
Konnichiwa.
We walked on to visit one of the 5 remaining households in Sean's hamlet. Mr. and Mrs. Nishimura greeted us with tea.
川の縁は全部ずーっと奥まで田んぼでしたわ。いっぱい人もいてましたしね、一軒のうちに7、8人いてましたからね、その頃は。それで40何軒あったから賑やかでしたけどもね、こんなに山深くなくって。
What the Nishimuras have seen in their community is true nationwide. Before the war, farmers made up about half the population. Now it's only 6%. But there's something else happening, a small but growing back-to-earth movement. College-educated refugees from the cities are finding their way to the country to enjoy the slow life. Sean and Misa's friends Hiroshi and Yoshie moved nearby recently after living in Tokyo.
田舎で子供を過ごさせてあげるってことが一番大事だと思って。大都会の好きじゃないところは。
案外臭い。駅とか結構臭いね。あれ住んでる人多分気づいてないんじゃないかなと思うんだけど。
結構あるね。
このぐらいは十分だよね。
Like Sean, Hiroshi has only been growing rice for a few years, but he's found a satisfaction that eluded him in the city.
草取りとかさ、こうやってなんていうのかな、すごい手間がかかるね。大変だけど、その分こう、育ってくれた時が嬉しい、みたいな。そんな感じだよね。
Give you a bit of a guided tour.
When Sean was struggling with his first rice crops, his wife Misa talked him into finding a mentor. He took me on a drive to meet Mikio Shimaoka, a successful rice farmer he calls Otosan, Japanese for father. So what's your relationship like with him?
Well, it's kind of up and down depending on his moods. He still thinks I'm a lazy bastard, I think, but people of that generation generally do think young people are lazy, so not much you can do about that, is there?
I could tell instantly that Sean had found a great teacher. Otosan is the Japanese father Sean always wanted.
ショーンが初めて訪ねてきた時はどう思ったんですか？
まあ変な外人がいた。その時も今と同じようにズボンがもっとこの辺まで破けて。
あ、そう。
いや、いかん。その時はお米作りたいという、その希望があったから、もうその目を輝かしとった。今堕落してる。
He tells everyone that he's got this Australian guy who's his apprentice, or deshi, as he calls it. And he thinks it's pretty funny. Maybe 20, 30 years ago, when there was a lot of young people still farming it, he wouldn't have been so warm in his welcome.
I asked Otosan why so few young people are staying on the farm nowadays.
あまりにもそのほら、その都市のいわゆる労働者、都市の生活者と農村とのギャップが大きすぎる。もう日本の農業というのはなくなっていくと思う。
Farmers still live in big, beautiful farmhouses with views of the terraced mountainsides, but that's all been passed down through the generations. There's not much cash in farming these days. Just a lot of physical labor and a quiet lifestyle that doesn't seem to mean much to young people anymore. Still, my friend Sean seemed eager to keep learning and to make his way as a Japanese rice farmer.
まあこれから、もしよかったら教えてください。いや、もうこれからはだんだんその真面目さが出てくると思うで、びっくりさせるで、感動させるで。
Sean gave me reason for hope. Maybe there's some life left in rural Japan after all.
I don't have great dreams of earning a lot of money or of buying this and buying that or traveling here and traveling there, so yeah, I like it.